Welcome to the Hank Cisco Show, ladies and gentlemen. Don't touch that remote. We got a good show here today. We got a little trip to Hollywood, and Hollywood's coming to Norristown. And we have my guest today is an actor, all right? And he's a filmmaker, makes movies, right? And also he's a musician. So between actor, filmmaking, and musician, we have a conversation here for a half hour. And it's all going to be about Norristown, East Norton, and Bridgeport. And that's where he's filmed these movies that he's making. So my friend, and from way back from Holy Savior School, he's one of my safety patrols, most likely, Jonathan Cross. Welcome to the Hank Cisco Show, and congratulations on your ventures here on putting Norristown on the map, East Norton and Bridgeport.
Thank you so much.
Tell me now, you're working on a film, okay? So what's the scoop?
Well, we're shooting a film right now called Day of Salvation.
Day of Salvation.
Yeah, and it's primarily being
We all
shot.
need salvation, right?
Well, that's for especially in today's world. Absolutely. This particular film is 90% of it's going to be shot in Norristown, and it's basically about a 58-year-old rock drummer. He's a troubled musician. He's pretty much just walking the streets.
About 15? How old is he about?
No, he's actually 58 years old.
Oh, 58. Oh, he's been over the hill.
Yes, and he just walks the streets in Norristown, talks a lot of the homeless people.
This is not true, is it?
No, this is a fictionalized story.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm
I don't want to
sure
know because everybody's going to be looking for this guy.
Exactly.
Having all the cops looking for him.
Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure there's stories like this within the music
Oh,
industry.
definitely.
But this particular guy was overcome by an incident that happened 20 years prior with a band that he was in. Some of the band mates, they got killed in an auto accident, and it's something that affected him, and he never got over it. So basically, he's on
Physically or mentally?
mentally.
Mentally.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
he was a drummer.
he's a drummer, yes. And he's basically on Social Security disability, can't drive, walks the streets, talks to a lot of the homeless people. Actually, a lot of people look forward to seeing him. He's just become a regular in town, so to speak.
Yeah.
In any event, there's a lot of dramatic and action-type things that go on throughout the film. And to this, there comes a point, though, where something happens where it triggers the redemption of this guy. I think he finally just kind of comes out of this mental fog that he's been in, or this depression, or this
Like
hurt.
a coma.
That's right.
Right.
To where he finds some type of redemption. And at that point, he realizes the gift he was given as a drummer and a musician. And then he continues on, actually, from that age. He continues on and goes on to do some really good things within the music industry.
Okay.
Which is unheard of a lot. People don't usually...
A drummer.
Mm-hmm.
He plays a big part in the band, right?
Absolutely.
What part does a drummer do as far as the band? Keep the rhythm or what?
Well, one of the things that might really interest you as an ex-fighter and someone who's well-versed in the boxing game is drumming and boxing have one thing that's really in common, and that's timing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely, right?
A drummer-
In other words, they go, boom, 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 boom. Got to know when to stop. So
That's
same
right.
thing with boxing. Jab, jab,
That's
jab,
correct.
left hook, right hand, duck,
right.
move, right.
That's pretty
And
much
there's a
it.
rhythm. Sugar Ray Robinson, now,
That's another thing.
a great welterweight champ, when he would train, and I've been in the gym when he was training, and he would play music, and then footwork is almost like a dancing.
That's right.
You're in boxing, your feet you have to be just as much weight on one foot as the other. You can't be off balance. The same thing with dancers, like Dancing with the Stars or so. You have to be.
right.
Yeah. So it's the same thing
That's
with
correct.
with the way the music flows and the rhythm. If a boxer goes out there and goes boom boom, he has to have that rhythm. Boom boom
That's it.
boom, slip slide boom. And same thing with music.
Timing is everything.
Right?
It really is. And even when you're keeping a beat, you got to keep that clock on time.
Right.
If you go off the beat a little bit, the whole band's going to look at you and blame you. And that's the same with a drummer. I mean, if you do something off beat, your managers, I'm sure he's going to shout at you.
Years ago, I had the crossing guards. We prayed, and I remember when I was in the army, we prayed. When you go hop, whoop, 3, 4. Well, when your left foot's hitting the ground, it's hut, 3, hut, 3, hut,
That's it.
3. So that's how you keep in rhythm.
That rhythm.
Your left foot's hitting hut, hut. You hear them when the guys. So that's the story. But if you go boom, you're going to be all fumbled up.
Everything's going to go out of whack. You
Right.
can't-
See.
it's-
So it's all timing. You got to bob and weave, slip and slide, and keep your trunks off the canvas.
That's it. There you go. That's
Okay.
the bottom line.
Now, tell me now. You're a musician. What instruments do you play?
I'm actually a drummer myself.
You're a drummer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you're doing a story about a drummer.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, my first film actually was
Well,
about.
I'm sure you wasn't going to write a book about cooking, right? Because
Not-
you're a
not
drummer,
yet.
right?
I'm working on that one, though.
Working on a little pasta fazool, you know what?
Mostly Italian food. That's it.
Well, tell me what? How'd you get? Why did you pick the drum?
I've been actually playing drums since I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
And I played in various bands when I was younger, rock bands. I played in disco bands, all types. And I was always impressed with the instrument. You know, obviously I never went on to a major career in it, but it was just a love for that instrument that kept me playing all these years. And actually, recently I've been getting more involved in drumming. I just did a drum clinic at Sam Ash Music in King of Prussia. Also, the Norristown Library.
Oh, yeah?
And, yeah, we had the little kids that came in to play the drums, we let them play. I'll tell you, there was a lot of natural talent.
Oh yeah.
It's just an exciting instrument. You know?
Oh yeah. Talking about drummers, my son Michael, when he went to Bishop Kenrick High School, and then he hooked up with his buddy Cahill, and another guy. I can't think of his name, but they were 3-piece band, right? Michael was a drummer, and so they said, want a place to practice. I live on Powell Street.
Your
They went down
house.
at Cellar.
Yeah.
I drove them out. They driving me nuts,
Oh,
He
yeah.
one guy was playing the trumpet, and the other guy, he was playing the drum. So then we put him out. I let him in the garage outside.
That helped a little bit,
Right.
I'm
And
sure.
the neighbors start
Then
calling
the
the
neighbors
cops.
That's what happens.
So they finally they went over to Catholic War Vets and a couple other places allow them to play.
You let them use the place
but
for rehearsal.
they make a lot of noise, with a trumpet.
Drums in itself, for that
Yeah,
instrument, is
yeah.
very
They
loud,
got
as a
boom,
matter
boom,
of
boom,
fact.
boom. Cost me a couple bucks too, over here, over there,
And it could get expensive.
Yeah.
Expensive hobby. That's right.
So, all right, now you're working on this. You're working on this one, right? But you already did one, right? Tell me about this other book that I remember I interviewed you last year about this other what's it called?
Cry of the Drummer.
The drummer.
Well, it's called Cry of the Drummer. That was my first
Cry
film,
of the
actually.
Drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was based on a book that I wrote also.
Right. You had a book called that.
And that was my first film, and I obviously that was about a drummer.
Well, how did you get started? Who helped you out on this? Your finance? You have like a sponsor to help you out?
Well, that particular film did get some financing, Cry of the Drummer. I did. I got a few sponsors to finance it. It was an amazing venture because originally we were going to shoot this thing on 35 millimeter film, which could have turned into a big, gigantic budget.
Right,
I'm
right.
talking like into the hundreds of thousands.
Right.
But I was able to find a camera that was something worthy to use and to make a good film, so it brought the budget down a little bit on it.
Right.
It helped out a lot, and especially for my first film. And basically what I had done is I was fortunate enough to speak to a lot of filmmakers that were already established, that were independent, got some ideas, looked into what kind of camera to use and so forth. And I went on to make the film, and I got a lot of cooperation from people in the local community to use locations. And one of the locations that was used primarily throughout the whole movie
Where?
was our farm in Worcester, Pennsylvania. Not too far from here, obviously.
No.
And they, Ray Gambone, who's now passed on, was a great guy. When I went to the farm, he says, "John, you use the farm as much as you want," which was a gift. He was really nice to do.
Do you have any animals in it?
Oh, yeah. And half of the film was actually shot on that farm.
Oh.
That's where I actually lost my fear of horses.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because
Fear?
I used to be afraid of horses.
Are you still afraid of them?
No, once I got accustomed to working them, the horses would start coming up to me, and I was able to pet them. And it was just a fun place to shoot. I loved it.
Yeah, well, years ago, up around Grandview Park, they used to have rent horses. I think it was like $2 for an hour or so. And I got on this horse, and he wanted to get back to the barn. He didn't want to go to the trail. and he went up against a tree, and he's going like this, he's trying to get me off. He's going like this, you know. Oh my God, he knocked me off there. I said, no more. I don't ride no horses.
I've never
I'll take the trolley. I'll take the bus.
Yeah.
No more.
I've never rode a horse. I'd like to just pet him, maybe walk him around or something. But not really.
Oh no, I'm not much for that. No. Now, I think, you know, like I said, if you want to swim, you got to get in the water. So you're planning on going to Hollywood, maybe just rub elbows with a couple people, maybe something will rub off?
Yeah, I do plan to take a short trip to Hollywood in the near future. I've never been there. I've always been infatuated with the whole atmosphere and the whole concept of Hollywood.
Right.
There is an agency out there that has taken just a little bit of interest in me. They're keeping an eye on what I'm doing. I'm staying in contact, keep them abreast of what I'm doing also. So my hopes are when I do go out there, by that time they may have enough on me, or I may have enough credentials to at least say, hey, can I come and meet with you?
Sure, yeah.
Because it's a tough nut to crack.
You got to develop some things, right?
Yeah.
Now, this year, one film you're talking about is controversial. What's controversial about it?
This film, Goodbye Charlie Damien, it was my second film. And I have to tell you, it was a little difficult to make because I was really short on funds. I had very little crew help. Sometimes I had none. Sometimes the actors were helping me to shoot it. It took a lot of work. I was actually bringing food for the actors. I was doing a lot of work myself. I got minimal help. It's just people weren't available, and I had no budget money to pay crew people. The actors were working on deferred pay. And there was times where, you know, the film was shot good cinematically. There's a few scenes that don't look as though they could be better. The film in itself has some religious overtones, and that kind of versus some negative aspects of the film. There's a particular scene in the film where there's a gun being used by a character who's considering suicide. There's an off-screen suicide of a female character.
Yeah.
A lot of things going on make the film somewhat of a controversial film. But what I did is
Was it a happy ending?
Actually, it is. The thing about it is
you know.
it's extremely inspirational in the end, also being very sad. But it shows people that, you know, even through the loss of someone or a tragedy, how someone can literally just
tragedy
become, you know, they can become strong over something like that.
Yeah, well, but most of your operas,
adversity.
All your operas are about tragedy.
Yeah.
Somebody killing the lover, or killing this guy, or whatever. You know,
so it's
soldiers and what have you.
I was able to get it up on Amazon.com. It's available now for download rental, which is nice. People can actually rent it for, like, I think a few
bucks.
What's that?
Which one?
They can rent Goodbye Charlie Damien.
Oh,
if
yeah?
they went through the internet.
Oh.
Or they can purchase it for download.
Run that by me again. Now, how can they do that?
You go into Amazon.com and you put in Goodbye Charlie Damien as a title.
Charlie Damien.
Yeah, and then you can come to the place where they have that for sale through download, or you can rent it for download, which can be seen on the internet.
Oh, okay.
However, now there is people that have connections from their computer into their televisions who can actually watch it on their TV then.
Oh, good.
So they have these, you know, new devices to do that.
Now, you had a showing of the other film, and where was it? Over the Plymouth Meeting Mall? Tell me about that.
That was the movie The Bookie. We screened that last year at the AMC Theater in Plymouth Meeting, and we had a turnout of 175 people.
Wow. Where was it held?
At the AMC Theater in Plymouth Meeting. And we've been getting a lot of requests to screen it again because a lot of the people in the area haven't seen it.
Right, right.
And word of mouth got out about it. So what we're going to do is, when I say we're, my company, World Rock Pictures, is going to screen it again this year on June 12th at the AMC Theater.
In Plymouth Meeting Mall.
Yeah, and this time you're going to see the full color version, because the last one was mostly in black and white, which I got like good comments on because it was like nostalgic, they said.
Yeah.
But this time it'll be in full color, and it'll be fantastic to see all the sights around the area. So,
well, if somebody wants to get involved, give you information or help you out in some way, should they contact you? Are you looking for some kind of volunteer help or something, or
always
customers or what? Tell me. You got a crowd right there. You got my audience there. How can they contact, or how they want to get involved?
You can contact World Rock Pictures.
What is it?
World Rock, that's one word.
Yeah.
P.O. Box 215, Fairview Village, PA, 19409. And I'll give you a phone number and a email address. 610-292-8278.
All right.
Or jcrossdrummer@yahoo.com.
Right. Now, you have a clip or something they're going to show on that?
Yeah, actually, they're going to show a clip of the bookie again prior to the screening on June 12th.
Oh, okay. And so we can show that clip, I guess.
Absolutely.
All right.
And get a good look at that.
So the clip really tells a good story, right?
If you got a good trailer,
Right.
to the movie, it can actually really help attract people. And I think that's one of the things that attracted a lot of people also to the film to come and see it, was that trailer. Plus there was a big ad in the Norristown Times Herald too that we put in, which is going to be put in again.
Yeah.
So
now, how many books have you written?
I just wrote the one, Cry the Drummer. However, I am working on a new screenplay called The Last Summer, in which I'm also going to start writing my second book about.
Yeah. What was The Last Summer? Where's that going to take place?
That is a movie that I'm primarily going to shop to Hollywood studios. It's not something I'm going to shoot. It's a fantastic film. I see someone as like Angelina Jolie or Gwyneth Paltrow, who are major stars, being in that movie. I always envision these major stars, but my job is to sell that screenplay to a major studio in Hollywood.
Right.
Then that agency may be able to make contact with these people because I envision them as a director. Who do you like in this film?
Do you have any ideas of recruiting actors or singers? How about music? You're a drummer. How come you're not doing something with music? Like I sing. Why don't somebody approach me and say, Hank,
you're a crooner.
I want you to sing a song. I can sing. From the vine comes the grape, from the grape comes the wine, from the wine comes a beautiful love song.
We should sort of combo,
okay?
you and I.
I sing like the love songs, That'll keep people happy, okay?
People love him.
You got to do something with the music here. We got a theater here, the Center Theater, man. We can put it all together.
Some kind of concert.
Huh?
Well, actually, since I did these clinics now,
don't you bump into some hefties and singers?
what I'm planning to do now,
I want some talent.
I'm getting my
Norristown's going to be a place where you go for theater, for food, and everything.
There's a lot happening here. There really is. But I am, in fact, putting some things together. I'm starting to balance my time a little better. I'm going to put a band together to play the songs that I wrote. Actually, two of my songs.
What songs did you write?
One is Love is the Key.
What?
Love is the Key.
Love is the Key.
The other one is Addicted to Giving You My Love.
I don't know, too many words.
Well,
I never remember that.
In the rock industry, that's what they do.
I like, ain't nothing but a hound dog, ain't nothing but a hound dog.
One word, hound dog, right? That's the title. So anyway, I want to mention that these two songs are on CD Baby on the internet. People can actually download them if they want to get them.
Yeah, so, all right, now, are you looking for some actors sometimes for certain, if it's going to be about, like if it's going to be about bookies, it's going to be a guy with a cigar and a derby hat and stuff like that? Or?
Well, this present film that I'm shooting, I'm definitely looking for people that want to be extras in film. We can use a lot of Norristonians, so to speak, for background. I'm also looking for some local people maybe that want to have some speaking roles.
Right.
So them addresses and email I gave prior, or that phone number, they can feel free to call and see if it's something they want to participate, because we're going to be shooting a lot. Actually, we're going to do a lot of stuff around the courthouse, Main Street.
Well, look, why don't we just go to the clip now, okay?
Yeah, let's
Let's
see
see
clip,
go to the clip and see what's going on there, all right?
Fantastic. Joey, I never thought I'd get tired of this town. I mean, we're making money. We got broads anytime we want them. We got nice cars. Life was good. We're lucky. But why am I getting tired of it all?
Listen, Louis. Tommy wants to see you.
About what?
I don't know, it's Jimmy D, he's doing all that blow.
It's not just the drugs anymore. He's down the club every night. He's all hopped up, drinking like a pig. I hear he's starting to talk too much, saying things he shouldn't be saying.
Is it true?
With what, Joe?
Drugs, dope. Did you go back?
Yeah.
It's over, Jimmy.
Louis, I've never asked you this before, but did you ever think about getting out of this crazy business?
And do what?
Louis, why do you do what you do?
I guess it's because I never knew anything else. My mother always told me I should have been a school teacher.
When I think about you out there with those gamblers and bookies and drug dealers, I just get worried.
Friggin' Big Ben. He's one scary guy. He's one of the few people I fear.
Your boy Jimmy D left a $2,000 debt behind.
If he can get by this 5 shot, let him come at me.
You're the next one to go, Louis. You're the next one to go.
My mother was right. I should have been a school teacher.
That was the bookie.
That was a
right?
clip of the bookie, yes.
All right. And how long did it take to throw that together?
Actually, that film took 2 years to make.
Wow.
Because, you know, it wasn't shot, we weren't shooting every day.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And
you have the opportunity.
right, well, we were shooting every week, but primarily it was like 1 day in a week. It'd be 1 or 2 days during a weekend. So it took longer. And, you know, with these independent films, a lot of time you run into a lot of obstacles. You know, an actor may call and say, I can't make it today, because they're working or volunteer or deferred pay. If they're getting paid, they're going to be more apt, but if they have a job where they're going to get paid,
Right.
they'll call you and say, we'll have to reschedule it, and you have to work with them.
Okay. What do you have right in the front burner round? The front burner, what are you working on right
Well, once again, it's this movie, Day of Salvation.
now? David Salvation, you're working on that.
That's pretty much what we're doing now.
Right.
That's it. Once again, I'm shooting during the week when I can, mainly on Saturdays. Sometimes we're doing like Saturday and Sundays. And I'm anticipating this film to possibly take 2 years also. It just depends on all the cooperation I get from crew people,
Right.
actors, you know, readily available locations.
Right.
You know, so from the looks of it, everything is staying pretty organized. I have like 3 major crew people right now that work with me. They put in time with me most of the time I'm shooting, so that's an asset. And a lot of the actors that I've worked with prior, they want to work more now with me because they know that I'm
It's moving ahead.
going in the right direction with
Right,
my
right,
film
right.
career. So they think it's only going to help them.
Now, you're going to have a showing on this year, what, June at the Plymouth?
Well, now in June, we're going to have a screening of the Bookie. And I think I want to touch base on a question that you asked me during the break, and that was what prompted me to make this film,
Yeah.
The Bookie, which is an interesting story.
Crap shooter?
Well, here's what happened. I mean, years and years ago when I was a young kid, I'm talking like teenage years,
Right.
I used to like to hang around the pool halls.
Oh, yeah, that was one on every corner, the area and Arch.
Yeah.
I know, the Main and Arch, and I used to go in and out of there, but they were all bookies, and
Yeah, I mean, there was a
my
lot of...
father had a shoemaker shop. The bookie used to come in and take numbers, you know.
That's right.
Everybody was playing the numbers.
And I was
Now,
always...
that was against the law, you know, but now to have the lottery, it's legal, you know.
Well, I was always like, you know, to me that was a fascinating life.
Yeah.
The bookies, the racetrack,
Right.
the street numbers, all that. It
It's
was like,
characters, these guys, too, you know?
That's it.
They were interesting guys. But these bookies would come in and wait. My father would be fixing his shoes. All right. And then you had to wait. And then they give a 324, whatever it is, you know.
that's right. No, that's and I was always like just it was
They were
like an
characters,
exciting
right.
thing, yeah. But the characters involved and how.
And then the pool room, they would have card games in the back. And then shooting pool. They would gamble as far as... a lot of people don't realize that they used to bet a lot on shooting pool.
Well, you know, it's interesting. One of the short films I made a short film that I want to adapt into a full-length screenplay. It's called Calling Augie. And in that particular film, I shoot pool in one scene.
Yeah?
And we really structured it to where it was really fascinating how these balls are just going in the pocket. But see, because of the ability I had as a pool shooter from the pool halls, I was able to structure that whole scene, so I used it in there.
You know, one of the funniest scenes is W.C. Field, and he's shooting pool, and he going like this here, he goes, shh, and he puts the pool and rips the green, what do you call it, the felt, you know?
felt
Oh,
rips
my
it right
God,
up,
you know?
yeah. So I just, with this film, I thought, you know what, this would be a fascinating thing to make a movie about a bookie.
All right.
Been in
You
the
made a
business
book about a bookie, right?
Right.
You're making a book about a drummer.
Yes.
How about a singer? There was a beautiful singer. All of a sudden, he lost his voice, and he's trying to make it back again.
Well, I got to tell you that
I get to put the music in the you know,
Well,
like what Lawrence Welk says, keep a song in your heart.
there is a couple stories that I've written that involve.
How about Mario Lanza? Beautiful voice.
Well,
But he
see,
was eating too much spaghetti, and then he was going to losing weight, gaining weight,
He
losing
did.
weight, gaining weight, and it
Yeah.
killed him.
if
from
I'm
what
not
I
mis-
understand.
I thought they had a documentary on him, but I mean, if I was to make a movie about someone that was already, has passed away who was successful, that gets into a lot of legal matters.
Yeah, a
because
lot
you
of-
got to
yeah,
get permission.
yeah.
A lot of times you got to buy rights, and I'm not really in a position to do
Well,
anything.
get
like
somebody,
that
get
right now.
somebody local here, like me. I'll sing. I sang in front of President Truman's picture one time. I mean,
So you'll work.
I sang in front of at the Metropolitan Life Insurance Company. So
So you're telling me you'll work deferred pay or volunteer, right? You'll
yeah,
make a movie.
right. But no, I would say, art, theater. I think it's so important,
It is.
for any community.
It really is.
I guess I think Connecticut. If I remember, a lot of musicians were up in Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut, and different places. There was a lot of musicians were from around that area. Am I right about that? I don't remember.
Well, no, there's, you know what, the amazing thing about it
Certain
is
cities.
today, in today's music industry, there's a lot of talent all over this country and worldwide, but a lot of people just don't pursue the talent because they may be up against some financial stress where
Right,
they have to
right,
continue
right.
working their jobs. It's hard to pursue a career in any talent if you have a steady job every day. But there's some amazing talent out there that's hidden.
Oh yeah, but I think there's more opportunities for people in show business now because you got all these different casinos all over the country. Then you got these cruises, where they have entertainment that are out there for a whole week, or
And they
so.
got the shows on now, the American Idols and all this.
Right,
where
right. So
people can-
there's more TV stations now. So
I see where, like, we'll see in our own newspaper, the Norristown Times-Herald, we'll see sometimes talents being, new talents coming up. They'll have talent shows.
yeah.
And,
Yeah, there's one. They just had the talent show here. I think and I think they wind up with 3 winners, and they're going to be performing. I think Saturday at the
I saw that.
art festival. And then I'm hoping they can get on my show here.
Yeah, and I got to say, Stan Husky, Philomena Johns from the Times-Herald, I got to tell you, I got to really thank them because they're always willing to boost new talent. They've been, really interested in my career over the years. So I think they're an asset to the Times-Herald.
Well, show business people are all struggling. I remember when I was fighting in New York, boxing, I lived in New York, and my manager's office was at 48th and Broadway, second floor, and it was all office building. And on my manager's was in the front office in the back, and all these guys would come up, with guitars, trumpets, and everything, going into their manager to get a job, So that was show business.
And two more things I want to mention. One is you need a lot of help and cooperation, which incidentally I want to thank Gus Mandrakia from Presidential Cater. He's been really
We
patient
help you out.
with this sponsorship. It's been going on. Him and I actually started this whole
Good.
thing. The other thing I really should mean to mention real quick again, the screening of the film, The Bookie, June 12th, 7:20 p.m., AMC Theater and Plymouth Meeting on the Plymouth Meeting Mall.
Our time is up. I want to thank you very much.
My pleasure,
for coming
Hank.
on here.
Thanks so much.
And that little toast here. Good luck to your film. And then
Jindal.
maybe they'll make a film about the Cisco Kid. Allah
Amen.
salute. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for allowing us to come into your home. And listen, we've got show businesses there all the way. We're going to go to Hollywood, and Hollywood's going to come here. So until we meet again, keep bobbing and weaving and keep a song in your heart. Right.
There
Allah
you go.
salud.
Salud.
Adios, amigos.